Go ahead and call the meeting to order and start with a roll call, please.
Mark Cole,
Present.
Michael DuBose,
Present.
Jim Kowalski,
Present.
Monty Montalago,
Present.
Ross Bourgeois,
Present.
Euless Simeon.
Here.
Eric Ricky,
Here.
Lenore Feeney. Here. Jason Hanneman.
Here.
Erica Dorsey. Here.
I'd like to observe a moment of silence, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
of America,
and to the republic
which stands
one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We had any requests, anyone to address the commission on items on the agenda?
They're not having.
And with that, we'll move on to the business items on the agenda. First business items, consideration of approval of the minutes from November 14th of 2024. Do we have any motions?
Make a motion.
Been moved and seconded to approve the minutes as submitted. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? You guys have it. Second item, business item is consideration of a motion to lift the stay and return to the docket the matters of Paul Cavalier, docket numbers 21-256-D, 21257-S, and 21261-T. Move to bring those matters back to return those matters to the docket. Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Any opposed? You guys have it. The matter is now back on the docket of the State Police Commission. We'll move on to item number 3, consideration of motion to dismiss the matters as moot filed by the Office of State Police in the matter of Paul Cavalier, docket numbers 21256-D, 21257-S, that is 21-257-S, and 21261-T. Here to present.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good to see you again. Today, I'm Marshall on behalf of the Office of State Police, and I'm here to present on behalf of the Louisiana State Police our motion to dismiss this matter as moot. And also, I wanted to bring to your remembrance, also, we have Mr. David Messina, I think through Zoom, who is the bankruptcy lawyer trustee, who is able to assist us in making sure that we have the receipt and release. And if the commission has any questions, we should be able to answer that concerning that matter. I would like to proceed to say that former trooper, Lieutenant Trooper Cal Cavalier, there were 3 disciplinary appeals in this matter. The first one is 21256-D, 21257-S, and 21261-T. He filed a lawsuit in 19 JDC as against the Louisiana State Police, which was moved to the United States Middle District of Louisiana. On October 6, 2022, the Louisiana State Office, through the Office of the Risk Management, as well as the Attorney General Office, they mediated a settlement agreement, which was agreed by Mr. Cavalier, who was represented by counsel at that time by the name of Jill Kraft. The term of those settlements encompass the resolution of all the disciplinary matters pending before this honorable commission. We expressed to you, he expressed his dissatisfaction with the terms of the settlement agreement. As a result, he wanted to continue the matter. There was a hearing before the United States Magistrate, Mr. Bourgeois. In Mr. Bourgeois' report, he recommended and rejected Mr. Cavalier's position. Also, this matter was heard by the United States District Judge by the name of John Dugravel. These matters, we have briefed those matters to you with the exhibits which we have attached to our motions. And each one of these has been heard either by the district judge and he appealed to United States Court of Appeal in New Orleans. There was a lot of brief filed. He represented himself, as a matter of fact, and the United States Court of Appeal affirmed the decision of Dr. Graveau. He has 90 days from the time of the render of the opinion, which he did not do. So that opinion, as well as the mandate from the United States Court of Appeal, stands. During this proceeding, gentlemen, he also filed a bankruptcy proceeding, and that is where Mr. David Messina comes in. We were not party to that, but I wanted to make sure that he participated to be able to explain to you, because it was at that point whereby the receipt and the settlement was consummated and it was approved based upon the decision of the Court of Appeal.
Mr. Messina, would you like to add anything to the comments? We can't hear.
One moment.
Hold on, Mr. Messina, we can't hear you.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry about that. I don't really, I submitted the papers that were relevant to the bankruptcy court approval. Just to be clear, I did not represent Mr. Cavalier in the bankruptcy case. When he filed bankruptcy, there was a court-appointed trustee, Greta Brophy, who took over the administration of his bankruptcy estate. And what we had to do in order to consummate the settlement was we had to get bankruptcy court authority to do that. I submitted the papers. I guess the couple of things I'll highlight. We filed our approval motion. Mr. Cavalier did file a limited objection. The limited objection, though, did not go to the consummation of the settlement. Basically, his limited objection started out by saying the debtor, Mr. Cavalier, has no objection to the consummation of the mediated settlement agreement referenced in the trustee's motion. He had only objected to, he had two attorneys, and he didn't want the full contingency fee approved for the attorneys. When it came time for the hearing on the motion before the bankruptcy court, Mr. Cavalier's attorney did show up at the hearing, and he actually even withdrew the objection to the attorney's fees. So the bankruptcy court authorized the approval of the trustee consummating this settlement agreement with no objection whatsoever. And the last point I'll make is, and this is probably the most important part of the approval order, it says on the first page, the approval order ordered that the, quote, lawsuits and claims set forth in the receipt and release agreement between the trustee and the Louisiana Department of Public Safety and Corrections, Louisiana State Police, and Colonel Lamar A. Davis are property of the bankruptcy estate, and as such, the trustee has the sole right and exclusive authority to sign and enter into the release agreement and the dismissals described therein. So the bankruptcy court specifically found that this was the trustee's sole and exclusive right to dismiss these proceedings, and we've filed the appropriate motions to dismiss it.
Was there any ruling from the bankruptcy court or otherwise that you are aware of that spoke to the issue of this commission's authority over the appeals?
I'm not sure I understand. In terms of
He has taken an appeal to this commission of the disciplinary action that was taken by the state police.
Yeah, you're talking about something separate from the appeals that went to the Fifth Circuit on the mediated settlement agreement?
Well, what went to the Fifth Circuit, as I understand, was whether or not the settlement agreement could be enforced. And we can read the settlement agreement and we will discuss our reading of the settlement agreement. I just want to make sure there wasn't a ruling from the bankruptcy court that had any statement relative to this body's jurisdiction over the appeals.
No, the only thing I would say is what the bankruptcy court approved was what was in that settlement agreement. That settlement agreement was attached to the motion. So I think you could look to the settlement agreement. If there's nothing contrary in that settlement agreement, I think that probably gives you the answer to your question.
I agree the settlement agreement gives us the answer. I just want to make sure if there were any rulings, I was aware of what those were.
No discussion of that issue before the bankruptcy court.
Sir. Any other questions?
I think also I wanted to emphasize that the fact that they join our motion to dismiss because based upon the settlement agreement, I don't think there's any jurisdictions pending before this commission because the matter has been resolved.
I understand. I'm not necessarily disagreeing. I just wanted to
Okay.
see if there was a ruling that I needed to be aware of.
Well, because I wanted to clarify that because when this matter started in 2022, there are new commissioners, and I wanted to make sure that that has been clarified because.
Do we have a copy of the agreement,
Yes,
settlement agreement?
yes, he said, it's our exhibit A. That, I think exhibit 13, I think, part of our motion. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
we really pray that this matter be declared to be moot and that this matters, all these pending claims, 2157S, 2156D, and 21-261P before this commission be declared moot. Thank you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Thank you. And by the way, this might be my last time seeing you guys, but it's been a pleasure working with you.
Thank you for your service and times that you've had the pleasure of working.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, in light of the fact that this matter involves allegations of misconduct, I'd entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss those allegations and these related matters.
So moved. And second.
Been moved and second, and take a roll call vote, please.
Eric Ricky,
Yes.
Yes.
Michael DeBose.
Yeah.
Jim Kowalski,
Yes.
Martin Martellado,
Yes.
Ron Bourgeois,
Yes.
and Will Henry.
Yes. For our previous executive sessions, we asked that everyone remove the room, leave any personal items in the room. We'll let you know when you come out. Hey, entertain a motion to come back in the public session.
I move.
Moved and seconded. Take a roll call vote, please.
Eric Ricky,
Yes.
Mark Cole,
Yes.
Michael Kowalski.
Yes.
Monty Montalvo.
Yes.
Lawrence Bourgeois,
Yes.
and you listen.
Yes. Okay, at this point, we'll entertain a motion and any discussion on the pending consideration of the motion to dismiss.
At this time, I'd like to move to grant the motion to dismiss the matters as moved filed by the Office of State Police in the matters of Call Cavalier. Docket numbers 21-256-D, 21-257-S, and 21-261-T.
It's been moved. Do we have a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. The matter is dismissed. The matters are dismissed. Want to go ahead and move to docket numbers 4 and 5 together. Consideration of referee order requiring appellate George Harper, docket number 21252-T, to appear and state whether he intends to proceed with his appeal before conviction or risk dismissal of his appeal if he fails to appear. And docket number 5 is consideration of the plea of George Harper, docket number 21249-RB. Also relative to this, I'm sorry.
He here? Is he here?
Oh, okay. So is Mr. Harper here?
This is Joseph Oubre. He's attorney with me.
It's not.
I apologize. He's not here for Mr. Harper, nor is he Mr.
We might get some response.
There was- He stood up very dramatically.
Felt a nudge from Jason.
You know how to make an entrance, right? You're gonna be Will Smith next.
We didn't see him in the hall, nor do we see him in the room today.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay, so matters 4 and 5 have been consolidated. My understanding matter number 5, which is docket number 21249-RV, was a TRO that was filed on behalf of Mr. DeMoss, Mr. Harper, and Mr. Dickerson. And that was consolidated with matter number 4. We had reached out to Ms. Feeney to see if we can get these matters redocketed as they were sitting in limbo. We got a response from Mr. DeMoss that was to dismiss his case. But we have not gotten a reply from Mr. Harper, and so that's the reason why we docketed for today.
I'm not sure if those have yet been consolidated, although that would be an option for us to consider at this point.
Okay.
Any questions from any of the commissioners? Okay, again, we're gonna be discussing issues related to allegations. I'm just trying to give you guys as much exercise today as you want. So we'll go into executive session again. I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session.
Your Honor, real quick, if we may do a motion to consolidate those two matters for executive session.
I'm sorry.
Can we move to consolidate those two matters for the executive session?
I think we could do that on our own motion.
Yes, Your Honor.
Commissioner DeBose needs to will not participate in the executive session or any of the rulings relative to this. Recused himself.
Correct.
We're going.
It's been moved that we go into executive session. Take a roll call vote, please.
Yes, Eric Ricky.
Yes.
Monty Montalvo.
Yes.
Jim Kowalski.
Yes.
Mark Cole.
Yes.
Bourgeois.
Yes.
Yes. Unanimous, other than the abstention by Commissioner DeMoss. Entertain a motion to come back into public session. The move. Second, take a roll call vote, please.
Garrett Rick,
Yes.
Matalaga,
Yes.
Jim Kowalski,
Yes.
Mark Cole,
Yes.
you, Simeon.
Yes. And at this time, are there any motions relative to business items numbers 4 and 5, consideration of the referee's order? Requiring George Harper to appear and also consideration of appeal of George Harper.
Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to consolidate both appeals of George Harper docket number 21252T and 21249 RV. And to instruct Lenore Feeney to set the consolidated case for hearing.
Been moved?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor? Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Note that I abstain from the vote.
Yes, please. Commissioner DeBose just sustained from.
I don't know if it helps you guys, but it may have been consolidated on 9/20/21.
Okay,
Looking
well,
at the minutes, it says all in favor, everyone was in favor. Not all five, I mean.
You sure it wasn't the consolidation of the two terminations?
it doesn't matter. It's been consolidated once or twice. I mean,
Correct.
We're hearing, so it's good. Let's go.
Okay. Double consolidated.
And that's why I mentioned earlier.
Well, thank you. I appreciate being correct on this. We'll move to item number 6, consideration of the ratification of a temporary extension of the State Police Commission Rule 8.10E, authorizing a temporary duty assignment TDY beyond 180 days for State Police Sergeant William Brady Cook to the Air Support Unit from December 7th through December 12th, 2024. The extension was granted by the Executive Director under interim authority pursuant to State Police Commission Rules 3.1K. Do you have any motions?
So moved.
The move to approve. Now, this is action that has already been taken, as I understand, Mr. Hanlon.
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. That takes us to today, which is December 12th, which brings up for consideration a request of the Office of State Police for extension on the State Police Commission Rule 8.10E, authorizing a temporary duty assignment beyond 180 days for State Police Sergeant William Brady Cook to the Air Support Unit through June 5, 2025. I understand we have a representative of State Police to address that issue. Commission.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commission members, Commission staff. I'm Captain Nick Manali, our Public Affairs Commander for our section. And on behalf of Colonel Hodges and our LSB Air Support Unit, we're here to request an extension, a 180-day extension for Sergeant Cook's temporary assignment to the Air Support Unit. As you know, our Air Support Unit performs a vital function across the state in numerous public safety aspects, supporting our local, state, and federal partners with resources and aerial support for a variety of public safety operations. Since June, Sergeant Cook has been temporarily assigned to the Air Support Unit, bringing with him over 18 years of aviation experience, training, not only as a pilot, but also as a flight instructor. While he's been doing an excellent job doing flight missions in the Region 1 area, he's also agreed to help us fill a very crucial position in our central Louisiana that we are currently lacking right now. So this extension, and we don't expect it to take the full 180 days, will allow Sergeant Cook extra time to put together some family plans and arrangements before he relocates over Peace Parish, and then also time for our Air Support Unit to reallocate that position to central Louisiana. We're pretty confident that Sergeant Cook's vast experience and training and aviation background is going to continue to be a critical asset for our Air Support Unit, and of course, very beneficial for our communities in central Louisiana. Really appreciate your time this morning and any consideration in this matter.
Any questions, from any of the commissioners?
I do have one question. So as I understand it, he will be classified as a pilot.
That's correct, sir. They're working on reallocating that position, and then once it's ready and in that position, he will have the opportunity to fill it permanently.
And the reallocation is what was referred to as a reorganization.
Yes, sir. Currently, our air support is kind of working on a reorganization of its organizational structure and some of its plans and working through that right now.
Thank you.
Question, Mr. Chairman. So is he currently functioning as a pilot?
He is, yes, sir.
So is he being, but he's not being paid as a pilot, because pilot's in a higher classification.
He's temporarily assigned to that position right now, so I believe that he is being paid in that position. There should be a special pay for that position.
Mr. or Commissioner,
That's something.
I guess the semantics of the request, because the request came in as a temporary duty assignment, which is not a detail. A detail would be to the pilot position, which would also encompass pay. But a temporary duty assignment is performing duties without pay. So there might be some clarification.
We'll
needed.
clarify that with our command pilot.
My question is if he's been doing it for the past 6 months, do we need to make a retroactive adjustment to his pay for the past 6 months?
I mean, I think that's something that we can certainly talk to the commission about, and our superintendent and see what we have to do there or not.
My interpretation of the rules was that you TDY to a lower position, detail to a higher position.
The Sergeant Cook has stayed in his sergeant position, just in case the relocation didn't work out, that he can retain that sergeant position, that sergeant pay, and then maintain that rank structure, until we can move him to a permanent pilot position. So he's being paid as a sergeant right now.
To be consistent with a TDY, there's no seat of additional pay. That's why there's a limit by rule, whereas the commission must be notified after 30 days of a TDY because an employee is not being compensated for those additional duties. And there's a maximum by rule of 180 days so as to not impose difficulties on the. So by rule, anything beyond 180 days must go to the commission, which is why when this request was received, it was placed on the docket for consideration today for the agency to appear and be able to provide an explanation of why it's in the best interest of public safety that the employee continue to work without additional compensation in a TDY status.
And Sergeant Cook is okay with the fact that he's performing these functions, but not being paid?
I think he's excited to use his experience with our agency right now, and then looking forward to his permanent position also.
There's no further discussion. I would approve the request for the extension, 180 days to TDY, Sergeant Brady Cook to the Air Support Unit.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, the last business item on the agenda is in the matter of Belinda Parker Brown et al. Versus Louisiana State Police Commission. Suit number 745576, docket 26, 19th JDC, Parish of East Baton Rouge. We will be discussing litigation in this matter, and unfortunately, I'll have to entertain another motion for executive session.
The move, Mr. Chairman.
Moved and seconded. Take a roll call vote.
Jared Ricky.
Yes.
Monty Montalvo.
Yes.
Michael DeBlanc. Jim Kowalski.
Yes.
Mark Cole.
Yes.
Ross Bourgeois.
Mr. Attendee. Yeah, in a minute. I just want to ask you something.
The restaurant. Right. Ran in the restaurant.
Entertain a motion to come back into public session.
So moved.
And second, roll call vote, please.
Bree,
Yes.
Patalaga,
Yes.
Yes. Kim Kowalski,
Yes.
Mark Cole,
Yes.
Ross Bourgeois,
Yeah.
Eunice Simeon.
Yes. Is there any discussion on agenda item number 8? Hearing none, we'll move on to the director's report.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Look behind the tab in your binders, the Director's Report tab. You'll see a copy of the commission's expenditures for your review. Are there any questions on expenditures? The only other items on the Director's Report to advise that the calendar year trainings will be send links for any members that have not completed their preventing sexual harassment training and their annual ethics training. Circulating those links for review. Those are due by the end of December. And then additionally, our next meeting is scheduled for January 9th, 2025. And I've included a copy of the 2025 calendar year meetings. That concludes our.
Next item on the agenda, the opportunity to address commission by employees and others on matters not on the agenda. Do we have any requests?
We do not, Mr. Chairman.
I would like to take a moment to address an item that is not on the agenda. However, I began with Louisiana State Police Commission in June of 2016. It's been 8.5 years. I thoroughly enjoyed my time on the State Police Commission, working with great commissioners, working with others, with Troopers Association, State Police, to try to make Louisiana State Police a better place and provide better service to the state of Louisiana and to its citizens. I have some other personal commitments, however, that I have undertaken more recently that requires that I submit my resignation from the commission. Not political commitments, I just have other time constraints and commitments that require that I don't have any time to spend with my wife and children and grandchildren. I have to make some decisions on how many things I can stay involved in, and despite my reluctance, because I think it's a great group of people to work with a tremendous task to do, I have submitted my resignation, which will be effective upon the appointment of a person to fill my seat. So I just wanted to let everybody know that.
And I think I'd just like to say that I certainly appreciate the time that you've dedicated to our State Police Commission, and it was an honor serving aside you. I appreciate your knowledge and your dedication and your integrity here on the commission. And we certainly will miss you. If we do have to wait for somebody to fill your shoes, a quality candidate to fill the same shoes, then maybe waiting a while. I don't know if you want to put a date on it, because I don't know, we could get another commissioner.
Well, I mean, there's time constraints under the
Thank you
Constitution.
very much for your service.
The time constraints under the Constitution on when all that has to happen, so I don't think it'll be that long. Anybody else? Okay. Unless there's an objection, we'll adjourn. No objection, we are adjourned.